Every real cowboy like myself knows how lonely it is out on the open range, which is why I listen to the Cowboy Boys podcast. With best contractually obligated friends, Shayne Smith and Mac Arthur, the Cowboy Boys will comfort your soul better than any disease-ridden saloon gal ever could. Cowboy Boys.
It's the bane of everything.
You don't know that. You got to be specific when you come into frame rates and resolutions, and you don't even know contrast ratios. He doesn't even pay attention to contrast ratios.
I don't care. I know what I'm saying.
The reason I don't like 60 FPS is because the human eye can't process, what is it, 40 more than 42?
That's wrong. Well, you can process it because you can tell when you don't like it.
But it gives you like uncanny valley look.
No,
on everything.
It's just you're used to. If movies had been filmed in 60 frames per second back in the 1930s when they invented film, you would be like, "Oh, that's what film looks like." It's just from when you were a child, you're like, "That's I guess." What
I would be like,
"That's
what film looks like." I would be looking at it and I go, "Wow, film looks bad."
Yeah.
I would be like, wow, crazy that film is bad. It seems like it would be such a cool technology. It's 1930. I hope nothing bad happens in the next 10 years.
This podcast is edited and recorded at 60 frames per second, 4K resolution. So I hope you guys brushed your teeth because they can see I can't wait till we're doing 8K. Welcome to Cowboy Boys, episode 168. Joining us today is Jared Collins.
Hello.
Jardozer.
Yes.
Shayne's younger, bigger brother.
That's right.
You're looking yoked.
Got to get more yoked though. I'm not yoked enough.
You're not?
No.
How's it going? We just returned from our yearly camp vacation.
That's right. Well, I mean, I wouldn't call it a vacation, but it is camp.
Why wouldn't you call it vacation?
Still has to work.
I was gonna say it's stressful for me for sure.
You gotta work a couple hours, and then we shot arrows.
No, I think the whole thing is pretty
Guns?
stressful for me.
We
actually,
rode horses.
Mac and I
those parts are really fun.
We swam in the lake.
Yeah.
Lake.
Yeah,
I'm gonna bleep it so no one can find out where we are.
Yeah.
Lake. I said the first letter.
It is a big lake. It's hard to find.
It is one of the bigger lakes. Good luck finding us. I had a blast.
I had
fun.
time.
It was good.
I had more fun this year than last year.
Yeah. This year was
Really?
the best.
Yeah.
Even though
last year I got laid, this year was more fun.
Oh, you did. Let's talk about how you got laid last year, and then this
right.
lady this year was slut shaming you. She's kissing and telling
She
everyone.
was.
She didn't tell anyone last year.
At first, I got to the camp and I was like, you feel like no one knows, and you're like, oh, I'm in the clear. And then Mac and I asked for a ride on a golf cart, and the guy was like, so you fucked her, right? And I was like, whoa, where did that come from?
He was talking to some other lady. She's like, we heard all about you.
Yeah. What do you think, Mac? I'm curious about your opinion on this. Do you think someone who kisses and tells everybody, is that like a fucked up? Is that like a little bit of some kind of violation?
I think it's situation to situation. I think you have the right to tell anyone what you did. But it is kind of like, you don't need. I don't know. In this situation, I'm like, why is she telling everyone? What does she have?
To be a dick.
What does she have to gain? If you're telling everyone to be like, hey,
it's like a conquest. She's like, I did it.
Here's the difference. There's the difference in telling your bros, being like, yeah, I fucked her, and then everyone's like, your bros are like, yeah, let's go. And there's a difference announcing to the entire camp and everyone being hey, watch out for him, and then. I don't know. I
ruined my chances.
She didn't say watch out. She was literally just bragging about fucking him and purposefully trying to cock block him from the rest of camp. Not that there was anyone at camp to have sex with.
There were a few.
I don't think
There's always
so.
Well, you shouldn't be looking anyways.
Yeah.
Me and Jared, we saw a few people.
Yeah, you're right. How old do you think those people were?
Oh, I asked.
The age range the age range of the camp was 18 to 80.
It really was so old. There were so many old people.
It was the exact settings of my Tinder. 50 feet away and 18 to 80. Who's down? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a situational thing. If you're telling your close friends, be like, "Hey, I had sex," and they give you a pat on the back, it's cool.
That's cool. To tell your close friends anything is fine.
But to
go tell just random people, just be like, I fucked that person. That's like, I think that's huge scumbag, like bordering on like violating consent behavior. I think that's fucking sex pest behavior, personally.
And then she kept doing those like alluding, like, how was it? You know what I mean? What she said, it was pretty all right. It was pretty good.
That's
where I was like, you're giving details? Like, you can't even just be like, oh, I did it. It's just like a play-by-play.
Yeah, that's fucked up. To just be like breaking it down like like Madden with the fucking pen, you know, like, and here he fakes or whatever.
Was she wasn't advertising for you?
No.
She was kind of like deterring.
Yeah, 100%.
That stinks.
It's okay though, because none of the people that were at the camp, in my opinion, weren't.
Yeah, they were cool about it.
Yeah, they were all chill. That camp is actually, so we go to this, I guess, summer camp. You get hired to perform at the summer camp every year.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they love you, and they love some other comics, and they show up, but it's a weird bunch. I think we talked about them. You could probably go back one exact year in the podcast and find us talking about it before. Yeah. And this year, I'm still like, they're a goofy, weird bunch. They're really wholesome. And
theater kids. They're
like
all theater
Renaissance
kids.
Renaissance fair vibe.
It's something. It's almost more wholesome than theater kids. Or
Like, theater kids. There's a darkness to them, but they behave. You know, they're like big goofballs.
And they handle their tribe well. There was 2 incidences this year.
Oh yeah.
There was the guy running the alcohol bar. Was feeling up. He got a little handsy with the women.
A sex pest.
And I heard what got him kicked out. This is a really great. Here's what not to do. He was serving drinks. You know, bartenders get propositioned a bunch, right? Yeah. It's part of the gig. That's where you get paid. And then he asked the lady. He's like, "Hey, do you want to go smoke weed in the bushes over there?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then apparently they got over there and he didn't have weed. And so he was like, "Well, I don't have weed. What now?" And he like grabbed her boob, like felt her up and made his move. And she's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
you can't invite someone to do something and then be like, "Actually, I don't have the thing you were trying to do, but let me touch your boob."
Yeah, that's so many disappointments, and then you're gonna end with a boob grab.
You can't seduce cold cores.
Also,
and then be like, "I don't have cocaine, but do you still want to have sex?"
Who seduces tit first? You should kiss, right?
One. Yeah,
you should, but you just go tit first.
Not always.
You've gone tit.
Have you gone tit first?
When the situation arises, I did have weed at the time. I did not under the right pretext. After so many steps of being like, "How about this? How about this?" Sometimes you do like a little, ooh, you're like.
You talking a graze? Because what I heard was I heard he was like a squeeze.
Oh, it's like your angle of attack matters.
No, you don't go tit first, dude. No. You go kiss first. You feel it out. Not literally, like you,
what if
fucking weirdo feeling it out, just going fucking right for the tit.
What if she's like, "Hey, look at my tit," and I'm like, "Well, I guess I'll."
I've had someone do that. I've literally had. I've been standing with someone. They go, "Do you want to see my tits?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, obviously, I have to say yes to this situation."
But that's also her propositioning you.
Exactly.
And then that's you. I didn't say who was initiating what. You just said sometimes I've touched a tit before I've touched my lips to another lady.
Oh, I've done.
You guys are acting like I'm crazy.
Listen, no, I'm talking about initiating with a woman tit first.
Yeah, if you have no context, you don't know if she's interested at all, and the only thing you do is grab her tit.
That's different.
Like that's awkward
different.
where you're sitting there and you're like, "Are we gonna
crazy.
Kiss right now?" And then you just go.
Honk, honk.
Yeah. I was like, what
that's
the fuck?
That's how I do it. I make it a joke. I go honk, honk, honk. And then if they're like, "Oh, what the fuck?" I'm like, "I'm joking."
Oh, come on.
I was doing a bit.
Like if your tit was a clown nose.
Yeah, I'm not attracted to you. Like I was just doing a joke.
That's so funny.
That's my 8th grader moves.
But they kicked him out.
Yeah, they kicked him out
immediately too. Like it wasn't even like the second she came forward and was like, "Hey, this guy was creepy to me." They kicked him out that night. They didn't even let him stay. they were like, "Get the fuck out of camp."
Yeah, pretty cool group of people. That's why it is more wholesome when someone does something wrong. They're like, "Yeah, you gotta go. The tribe has voted, and you're fucking out."
The opposite of comedy.
Hey,
this guy physically sexually assaulted someone. I'm going to subtweet him and allow women to keep going on his show.
I'm not going to say comedy. I'm going to say every entertainment business.
Yeah, but comedy's the one I'm the most familiar with.
Every local scene.
Just so
has
many.
their
Even
predators.
the local scene in Salt Lake has a predator for Strongman.
Really?
Yeah, they got a Strongman.
Oh, no, and he's so strong.
Yeah.
Well, what do you do?
Oh, no.
Is he the strongest man?
No, he's pretty damn strong. He's a gym owner too. I can't say names with gyms or anything like that,
Why not?
but yeah, he's a huge creep. A lot of people have left the gym because of it.
Have you left the gym?
I don't go to that gym. I never went to it because the
This is
vibes
hearsay,
are rancid. No.
You can feel it when you walk in the gym?
Yeah, you know how you can feel like the sexual predator energy when you walk into the gym. It's
But
not
the
good.
community talks about it, and people say
Openly.
don't go there.
Yes,
That's
at
the
this
mo-
point.
Are
yeah.
there any
Now,
strongmen who still go there?
Some, not a lot.
But like no girls, probably.
Nope, no women go there anymore.
Well, that's good. Listen, if you're going to take the path of least resistance, at least tell all the women, like, don't go here.
But him and his wife are getting divorced over it and everything.
Whoa, that's crazy.
He was like trying to sugar baby people, and I was like, dude, you own a gym. There's no way you're sugar baby.
What's his move? Is he like trying to spot women? Like when they don't need a spot?
His move was
He's
almost
like,
as bad as.
let me get you. Let me
From
come up
what I heard,
while you're
his move was
squatting.
almost as bad as the guy with the weed, where he'd just go up to you and he'd be like, "Hey, so like, you want to be a sugar baby, and then you can suck my dick, and I'll give you like $2,000."
Oh my god!
So he's
While
too
you're in the middle of your
forward.
workout,
mid workout.
women don't even want to be asked questions during their workout, and now you're being like, "What about a blow? Hey, I see you working really hard. You're very uncomfortable. You feel probably ugly, and you're tired. Would you like to suck my dick?"
Terrible.
The only place that would be appropriate to position someone as an opener or proposition someone as an opener, I would think, is if she's already your slave in Dubai.
You know what?
She's like an Instagram thought, and you're like, hey, baby, you're just DMing her, like, I have $1 billion. You want to come over to Dubai? And you're like, I guess. I'm Beyonce, and I'll go perform, quote unquote, for $1 million.
Max still frustrated with Beyonce for betraying him for a Saudi Arabian.
I'm frustrated.
prince.
I'm frustrated. I call all you women out going to Dubai. I know what you're doing.
I was like, oh, okay.
But yeah, they also had a second occurrence though at the camp.
Oh yeah, there was a guy hitting his lady.
Yeah, hitting his
and they
wife.
kicked him out immediately
And they-
too.
Immediately.
Was
like, not
he a
even
part of the
30
group, or
minutes.
was he staff? I thought he was staff.
I think he was a staff guy.
So
but
he
they
wasn't a part of the
But he was
club.
hired to do
do the music, and
the
they
music.
they just were like, "Hey, we called your boss. Get the fuck out."
Yeah, that's fucking crazy, dude. What? Why is everyone so fucked up?
I think no one has a backup plan, and so someone will be like, "Well, he's the only guy with a frisbee, and if we need to play frisbee, we have to let him hang out." And you're like, well, "Get a new fucking guy, get
Yeah,
a different
truly.
guy to borrow frisbees from." That's always what it is.
Borrow frisbees?
It's always something stupid.
No, it is. Or they're like, they're in our friend group, and it's like, dude, you could just
can't-
have less people in
it's
your
hard to
friend
make
group.
adult friends.
I hear that a lot. People are like, you know how hard it is to make adult friends? And I go, I don't care. You know it's not hard to make adult friends if you do things. Everyone who's ever been like, I
Yeah.
can't make adult friends, I go, what do you do with your time? And they go, I work a lot. It's like,
sit
yeah,
at home,
there it
watch
is.
Netflix.
Yeah, there it is. Hey, if you want to make friends, and this isn't like a dig on anyone who has a hard time making friends, but the hack is just to go do shit, join a gym, climb, but not a regular gym. You got to like have a task. You have to have hobbies.
Yeah.
If you have
You can-
hobbies, you will have friends. Maybe
Yeah.
you won't go to dinner with them all the time or like invite them over to your house, but at the very least, they'll be like, hey, I'm going to go to the gym an extra day. Do you want to go? Hey, I'm climbing. Do you want to go on this climbing trip or whatever? Like shit will happen. I don't know. Make it just whatever. Make friends.
Serial killers find each other.
Dude, they really do.
Because they have a hobby, and they're like, "Wait, you love killing people too?"
That's crazy.
And then they're like, "Well, let's team up, and then
Yeah.
we'll hang out, and then they become friends."
It's true. If you're that down bad for friends, write a guy in prison. He'll fucking be your friend, dude. Who else will be your friend? I don't know, man. There's a lot of ways to make friends. Go volunteer at like a soup kitchen or something.
Go back to college.
No, don't
You can
do
meet
that.
a lot of friends in
That's
college.
a lot of money to pay to maybe have a friend.
I didn't say paid for college courses.
Oh, yeah.
I just said go party.
Yo, what's up, fellow children?
I bet you could be like, I'm a teacher here.
You could just get a tweed jacket, walk around.
That'd be. I mean, yeah. I don't know. You just gotta go outside. And we met some friends at camp. We made
did.
some.
Yeah. I mean, I'm friends with most of the people. I think they're great.
We did learn something about Shayne.
What's that?
I don't know if we're allowed to reveal this.
Hit it.
Shayne can't suck his balls back up into his body.
Oh, okay.
He physically can't. You can't burp on command.
Nope.
You can't suck your balls into your body a little bit.
That's a wild one. He didn't even know it existed.
You didn't.
I
You
didn't.
didn't believe us.
No, I didn't. You
thought we were all joking.
It's fucked up.
I
man.
showed him, and he still doesn't believe.
I don't.
Well, I just showed him the pocket, just the ball up in there, because the ball's not out.
It
It's
makes
inside
me
you.
viscerally uncomfortable to even think about.
Do you have ball pockets or?
I guess not. Maybe I've got 4 balls and there's already balls in the pocket.
Maybe you have ovaries and balls.
Maybe.
And that's what's taking up the pocket.
That's why I'm so powerful.
Yeah, you're shooting out eggs. That's why you have so much pre-cum.
Dude, maybe. Dude, I do come a lot. It's
Because
like
you're shooting eggs.
I just come like a deviled egg. Someone's like, whoa. Like, is that not what it looks like?
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of camp, Mac?
My favorite part was I really enjoyed shooting guns. Number one, I love shooting guns, and then arrows, and then swimming in the lake and having the lifeguard be like, "Hey, you're going too far. Hey, you're not wearing a life vest. Hey, you're being unsafe." And I'm just like, "Huh? What? I don't care.
Yeah, the life vest shit when it's like fucking
I'm swimming.
6 feet of water. You're like, bro, do people die like that? I know they do die like that. Because people die in the ocean where I go all the time, and I'm like, how do you die here? I guess they're just not strong swimmers.
But yeah, that's the thing. I'm just swimming around. Let me swim. I'm not like jumping on the rocks. I'm not battle boating.
I've literally been at the surf spot multiple times, and I'm just sitting there, like sitting on my board, like waiting for a wave. And I look over and I go, huh, weird. That lady's swimming out. And it's literally water I could stand in. Like it would be up to my chest. So it's 5.5 feet of water. I'm like, oh, okay. And I look away and I'm waiting for a wave. And then I look back and she's literally like drowning.
Are you like, stand up?
Well, I mean, maybe she's not tall enough, but I'm like, let yourself sink and bounce up. Or just, but then she's getting crushed by a wave, and all the surfers are like, you're so close to shore. Like, we have to pal over to save you now. And I've seen it happen multiple times where I'm just like, or some like guy, some like teenage guy or like guy our age in his early 20s. He's like from France or some tourist or whatever with one of his blah, 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 blah accents. He fucking European, and he fucking swims over on his little shitty boogie board that he got at like who God knows where. And then I'm like looking away and I look over and his boogie board has been washed away from him and he's just like dying and the fucking getting crushed by like literally 2 foot tall waves. I'm like, bro, it couldn't be chiller out here. How are you dying right now? Like people drown. 6 people have drowned at my surf spot this year already.
Hey, that's 6 less competitors.
It's
to
true.
steal waves from you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
One of them drowned against the jetty, which means they literally got pushed against a rock that if they could do one pull-up, they would have lived.
A lot of people.
One pull-up, you would have lived. That's the difference between dying and living.
A lot of people are not going to like my opinion, but if you go out in nature and nature gets you,
oh yeah,
That's your fault.
That's your fault.
It's true. It always is your fault.
What is that one Into the Wild book? That one kid that people romanticize, and I'm like, it happened perfectly. He was unprepared, and you can romanticize him, but go eat berries.
I'm surprised you don't romanticize him. He went out, he did it, he died like a man, he had no regrets, he wasn't being a baby about dying. He's like, yeah, I died. I fucking knew I was gonna die. He literally told people like, yeah, it's really dangerous. I'll probably die.
I guess I'm just angry at him because I'm like, you can live in the wild.
Who gives a shit? Why live in the wild? Die in the wild like a man.
Nah.
Fuck society.
Okay, then why are you worried about people doing one pull-up?
What do you mean? I'm not worried about
more people should
doing
just
one
walk
pull-up.
into the ocean and drown.
What do you mean? What? That's like apples to oranges.
No.
What's the
it's
difference
nectarines
between being
to
like,
peaches.
I'm going to try and live in the wilderness too. I'm going to walk into the ocean when I don't swim good.
He wasn't trying. You just told me he knew he was going to die.
No, he said he knew it was very dangerous. He accepted the risk. That would be like climbing K2 and being like, yeah, I mean, I might die in an avalanche, but I really want to climb this mountain. He was like, yeah, I might die out here, but I really want to try living in the wilderness.
Most people going swimming aren't thinking, I might die, right?
Yeah. They're literally like, I'm going to have a good time at this beach in New York City, a place that no one realizes there are beaches.
I don't respect it. I would simply not die on K2. I would power through it. I would roll down the hill, sled down the mountain because it's a hill to me.
Mac, ultimate nature man.
I could survive in nature longer than you.
I think the only reason he could is because he's got so much meat on.
Yeah,
him.
I got
You
my
would,
fat
that
reserve.
show-
you would get eaten by predators so quickly.
It's like that show Alone. The only people that win are the ones that just go in super fast.
they do it on purpose.
Yeah.
It's like a good
What's
strategy.
Alone?
It's so smart.
It's a show where people go out into the wilderness. Like 10 people go out into the wilderness by themselves.
Last one left wins.
The last one left wins.
Are they allowed to hunt each other?
No, they
Are
can't leave their little area. They have like a 3x2 mile area that's along a lake, so they're allowed to fish if they want, and then they
They can hunt and
They're
they
allowed
can
to
hunt
bring
specific
10
things.
things.
Yeah,
Oh.
you get 10 items. You have to live as long as possible. One guy,
I would bring
it's a
a
spoiler,
car.
but one guy won a season and he lasted 100 days, and he also had like 200 kilograms of food still left, and he was like, I can live here forever.
the Eskimo guy or the Inuit guy from fucking or not Inuit. He's from Siberia, right?
Yeah, I think so. He's
They
just like, I can live here forever.
Bro, that season is so fucking funny. So there's this white guy who apparently was like, I want to ride on the Siberian Transcontinental Railroad, like the Russian railroad.
Yeah.
So he just drove around. He took the whole thing, which is a really cool idea and something I would like to do one day. Went deep into the wilderness, met a Siberian woman, like one of those nomad women in one of those crazy places that barely live, has no electricity and shit. Fell in love with her and was like,
she's a woman. She's 5 feet tall, 5 feet wide,
and then
just
fucking
the biggest,
her huge
biggest
bear paw
boobs.
hands. Yeah. So he's like, I fell in love, and he's like, fuck it, fuck society. I live here now. So he just lives in Siberia or whatever, becomes one of the tribe, and then he ends up going on the show alone. So like, it's about survivalists, and they're hardcore. These people are very good, but
You got like
every
Navy
time
SEALs,
you watch it, every time you watch it,
Bear
they're like
Grylls.
struggling to do, like the camera will cut and it'll be a person being like, I fucking cut my hand,
God,
I'm
it's
starving
hilarious,
to
dude.
death, I can't make my fishing work. People are literally like, they're alone, for like, they're a month and a half into not talking to anyone, and they're just like,
Do people go crazy?
I'm
Stir
fucking
crazy?
going crazy.
Wow.
But they kept doing it, and they'd cut from like this woman who's literally like, I miss my family, and then this dude who's like puking because he ate the wrong thing. Then they literally cut to the Siberian dude, and he is a wall of food, and he's made a guitar somehow. And he's like, da 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 da. Like, literally, they'll cut away from someone who's like, I'm fucking dying. Like, my traps won't work. I can't find rabbit. They cut to the Siberian guy, and he's giving himself a tattoo. You're like, he's just having a vacation. He won the show so fucking easily.
So-
It was comical.
In the show, when you win, they come to your camp and they tell you like, hey, you won. In the show, if I remember right, they came to the camp and they were like, you won, and he won at like day 90, and he was like, well, I want to get to day 100. Could I just stay here 10 more days?
yeah.
He was taking-
His wife like showed up and hugged him, and he's like, "Oh, you're here."
I specifically did this to get away from you.
No, it was so funny how he won. Like, it literally was the equivalent of being like, here's America's Next Top Football Star challenge, and then they have Marshawn Lynch versus us.
Yeah.
It was just like, he was so much better than everyone else. There was a guy who killed a moose and didn't realize that moose doesn't have fat, so he was eating tons of moose meat, but he was still losing weight because he
that-
didn't have enough fat in his diet.
That rabbit sickness. Because if you eat rabbit, they don't have fat either.
Yeah, you have to like.
Gotta
So
eat
he
fat.
didn't understand. He didn't have fatty acids or whatever. The one dude, so he hunted a bunch, but in the winter, he like went out onto the ice in some crazy way, built his own net out of shit, smashed through the ice, and like found this crazy way to pull the net through the ice to the other side and made a giant net. It was like catching fish all winter.
That's normal Eskimo fishing.
I know, but it was like crazy the way he did it. Like, because he didn't bring the stuff he brought was very specific. Because they say you can bring 10 items, but like one of them has to be a hatchet. One of them has to be a knife. One of them has to be a sleeping bag.
Yeah.
You know, and then but he like, and a lot of people bring a bow. Some people bring like a lot of wire to make traps.
What would you bring? Your 10 items.
I don't even know.
I think I would bring.
I'm not a
bring my Game Boy, some condoms, because you don't know. What if the one or the other? What if the people get lonely in the woods?
Exactly.
Shows up. I would bring. You got to do the knife. A cool knife. Like a cool knife that has colors. It's like pearlescent.
Your CS:GO knife.
Yeah, that I'm looking
your
at.
kukri knife, that one that cuts from upside down.
Mm-hmm. I gotta bring at least 5 guns. 5 of my slots are guns. Because I gotta have my pistol, my rifle, my shotgun, a backup pistol in case my first pistol jams. So I have a pistol and then a revolver.
Here's what I would do. I would bring one gun, but I would just tape all my guns together. So you get through the loophole. They're like, fuck, it's one gun, but it's 4 guns taped in a big. So I can just turn it, and then I have a different gun every time.
You should watch that show, though, Mac.
What's it on?
It's on Hulu.
It's on Netflix and Hulu.
So you're saying people they bulk up before and get really fat?
Yeah, the guys, the Siberian tribe guy didn't. He was just so good, it didn't matter. He just simply ate fish and had a good time. But the other people who have won have like been kind of smart and literally shown up fat. And then they're like, yeah, when the winter comes, I'll just start starving, but I'll be fine. 'Cause some people, they're good enough, they're hardcore enough to their credit, and they're mentally strong enough to stay, but they literally begin starving to death, and the show's like, we have to make you leave.
Medical checks.
Once a week, medical checks, yeah. So.
Do they just bring vitamins? They're like, I'm good.
Yeah, dude, the funniest thing in that show is like the first week, there's a lot of people who are like, I'm a survivalist, and they act all hardcore, and then first day they start, or like second day they're crying and they give up.
There's a guy that was there for a week, and he was like, I'm a huge survivalist, this is going to be no problem, and then he faked a heart attack so he could leave.
He was crying.
He's just like...
There's an old guy who on the very first day, he was exploring his area, and then he's just, I don't know what his deal was, but he just walked out onto a mossy rock. I was watching don't do that. He slips and hurts his knee and has a call. He literally lasted less than like 3 hours.
Wow.
They left on the boat. He slipped, hurt his knee, and they just came right back and got him. Like, fuck, dude. So all that preparation and like, you're going to win. I'm going to win $100,000 for my family. Just slip on a mossy rock and be like, well, I'm out.
One of the ones was a lady doing like, you know how when you chop wood, you're never supposed to hold the wood?
Yeah, you're supposed to like kind of hit it and then
hit it.
And then
she was just holding the wood the whole time and then chopped her thumb in half.
Yeah, like no shit.
You know this because they vet these people hard.
You ever see the video of people just chopping then right into their shin?
Yes.
Oh fuck, dude.
I watched one of those.
I've done that on accident with like a big axe where it like skips and you're just like, you don't cut yourself, but you're like, oh fuck, I smashed my shin.
I watched one of those woodcutter competitions where they're doing like the wood in between their feet and they're hacking it, and he does it and it goes all the way through his foot. But then he finishes it.
Would've been
That's
me.
man shit.
I got my working boots on.
You actually?
Are they steel-toed?
Yeah,
Nice.
because I'm.
How come you never wear those outside?
Because I'm not working outside.
Why don't you work outside?
Because my work requires me to work inside right here. if I was on a survival show, maybe I'd wear them.
We should have uniforms, Mac.
I do have a uniform.
No, but we should get like a real like a jumpsuit.
We show up like that.
That we only record in our work jumpsuits, and then when people do the podcast, we go, "Hey, you got to safety first. You got to wear the uniform."
OSHA requires that you have a podcast uniform on.
We have to get him a little name tag, dude. That'd be sick. Let's do it. I want to get actually, I know what uniform I want: an astronaut suit. I want to be in a full astronaut suit.
You don't want to do your
for the podcast
Napoleon Frenchman
No, I want
jacket?
I want to feel safe and secure in a full astronaut suit.
I want to do a Speedo.
Okay, yeah.
That's it.
Michael Phelps.
Yeah, that'll be faster.
We should dress up as a different job every time we podcast.
I do.
What job are you today?
A different podcaster.
Oh,
A guy doing a different podcast.
a guy from a more successful podcast.
That's very rare. We're doing pretty well for how many
Dude,
podcasts
I know
there
a
are.
lot of people who are doing better than us.
Yeah, but I know a lot more who are not.
True.
Yeah, I would survive. I could survive out in the wilderness. I think it'd do be a lot of good.
How would you eat?
Yeah, how do you hunt? You know, like what to eat.
Probably just fish at first, and then set traps. I would.
The problem with the fishing is that in the show they don't give you a fishing pole. You're not allowed to take fishing poles.
Yeah, you can't take a pole.
So like people
A
have
lot
to
of people
fish
bring
with,
fishing
and
line.
they don't let you bring hooks. You have to make your own hooks.
Well, I'll figure it out.
That one fat dude in the new season, and I haven't watched the whole thing, so don't spoil it. But he doesn't even bring a knife or hooks or anything. He like brings metal.
Yeah,
and then he does metal working. So he's so smart. He just brings a bunch of like sheet metal or whatever, and then he just like makes a knife. The first couple days, he like literally forgoes eating because he uses all his time to like make tools. So he makes a knife, makes a hatchet, and like makes fishing implements. And it's like, whoa, that's fucking crazy.
I would bring a solar panel, a laptop, and a 3D printer.
Whoa. And I would 3D print a gun.
Yeah, a 3D printer gun to go rob the other people on the contest.
You can't leave your area.
With the gun, I'd be like, hey, I'm going to shoot you.
Yeah.
Throw your stuff over the line. That's why you have a gun.
What was your favorite part of camp?
My favorite part of camp? Probably the archery. I had fun doing that. I want to shoot more arrows, honestly.
It is very fun. It is very primal.
Yeah. I want
to have a pointy stick and then have the pointy stick go far and pop a balloon that you're imagining is a monster's head.
There's in Utah, they have like these primitivism, like survival courses or whatever. I'd love to do one of those, like where they help you make your own bow. Apache style, and then and then you just get to shoot it. I would love to do some archery on horseback too, just like for fun, just like as a history thing. Yeah. I was like, oh man, if I did 3-gun, I wouldn't even do real 3-gun. I would do the Wild West 3-gun.
What is 3-gun?
3-gun's like the new most popular gun thing that everyone does, where they set up obstacle courses and you don't get to know it before you do it, and then right before you do it, they like tell you, they're like, okay, at this course you're gonna run up and your rifle's gonna be in a barrel, and you have to pull your rifle out, and it's gonna be already jammed. You got to clear the jam, put the magazine in, and shoot these 5 targets. And then when you go to the next station, you have to use the new magazine and shoot these 6 targets. And then when you go to the next station, your shotgun will be there. These 5 targets with your shotgun. Next station, your pistol will already be holstered. You can take it out. You're going to fire, but we're going to only have put 5 rounds in your magazine. So there's going to be 9 targets. So you're going to have to reload your pistol, and then best time wins. And everyone runs that same course.
I hate that. That stuff is so dorky.
That's literally what people do to train for war.
I know. That gun training, like, and then I'm going to clear my jam real quick. You know what I'm going to do in war? I'm going to be 1,000 yards away, covered in mud and grass.
That's close.
I'm going to shoot 1 bullet, and 1 or 2 heads are going to explode, and then I'm going to run away in a different, and you're never going to see me. I'm not going to do this. I'm not doing this close combat reloading. I can't. I'm going to be sitting.
I'm going to find where you sleep and kill you.
Nope, because I'm going to be. Nope. I'm going to have. You're going to be like. I'm going to have you're going to see a blanket in the woods, and you're like, that's where Mac's sleeping. And then you pull back the blanket, it's a bunch of pillows and pine cones, and then you're surrounded by booby traps, and some logs come. You'll never find me.
It was a hologram the whole time.
Exactly.
I'm behind you.
See, we're not. But again, we're not combat training.
I don't even need a rifle. I'm a knife guy, like in that one weird movie with what's that
Deer
movie
Hunter?
called? Yeah, no, there's another movie where it's like The Fugitive, but they both are knife experts.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one actually, because he's in Kosovo, and instead of using a gun, he like fights with a knife. You're like, just shoot him. What are you
That's
doing?
Henry Ford, right? Not Henry Ford.
Harrison Ford, Henry Ford. Yeah, Henry Ford. After he funded the fascists in Italy and Germany, he made a cool knife movie.
Could have.
That's like when people train for like MMA to like fight in street fights. It's like, you know what's better? Running away every time.
That is better. Running away is the best move if you don't want to get stabbed or fucked up.
It's cool to like, it's a cool skill to have and train for. But if
You can't run away every time. That's the problem.
It's true. Sometimes people are faster than
That's
you.
why I have my booby traps.
Sometimes
I have a bunch of tacks I drop behind me.
One thing we found out about Mac this weekend is that he's not very primal. He was bad at shooting the bow. He's bad at the hatchets.
No.
True. He was good with the gun. We'll give him that.
I'll give him that. You were better than everyone with the gun, but the
No,
bow.
I make an argument that I was as good at the gun, bro.
Maybe
My
as
grouping was
good.
real on.
But Mac was terrible with the bow.
Well, I didn't-
terrible
oh my
with
God.
the hatchet.
He literally didn't know how to hold it.
Yeah, I
we
was
had to teach him how to hold the bow.
I was shooting the bow wrong, and then when I finally held it right, I'm like, oh, this is a lot easier.
He was holding the bow, a right-handed bow. He was holding it with his right hand and pulling with his left.
And then earlier,
And he was
You know
yelling
what?
at us that we were doing it wrong.
Yeah,
No,
and then
no,
earlier
you know
he
what?
admonished me for doing it wrong, and I was like, I just gotta let it slide because I was like, maybe I picked it up wrong, and he saw, and he just was like, "Are you shooting it with the wrong hand?" Like giving me guff.
No.
And then later I was like, "You're fully using the wrong hand."
You know what it is? I'm just ambidextrous with the bow because when I'm riding a horse, if I gotta shoot over here, if I gotta shoot over there, I gotta shoot everywhere.
Yeah, true.
True, yeah.
You know, so I got a full 360.
It was funny
defense.
though. He did get immediately better when he was shooting.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah, we gotta get on horses and return to our Genghis Khan step
Oh,
roots.
dude, I just want to be on a horse.
I want to shoot a bird out of the air while riding full gallop on a horse with a bow.
Those are my two dreams: to be just riding the plains on a horse, fighting other guys on horses with bows and spears, or to fight in the Spanish Civil War. That's the one I want to do. I just want to fucking kill the fascists in Spain.
Dude, riding horses rules.
Yeah,
even though we were like just
we're just like trotting,
a little
lightly,
pony
bro.
ride.
I would also like to be on any boat in any age of sail war. I'll fight for anyone because you're just on the boat with your friends. Who cares?
Yeah.
The only problem with my horse was I was the size of my horse.
Yeah,
He was,
bro.
like,
Why did
winded the
they
whole
give you
time.
the smaller horse?
It kind of felt bad. It was breathing hard.
I felt so bad for my horse. He's just breathing hard. He's having the worst day of his life.
He's getting his work. He's getting his steps in.
I
Working
kept
out.
petting him. I was like, "It's okay, man. I get it."
That's so funny. Horses are fun. Yeah, man. I want to just run it. Honestly, right now I'm like, fuck. I just want to go to Utah, get a bow, get a quiver of arrows, and just run around the wilderness, fucking doing. I don't even know
shooting
what.
everything.
Just shooting shit and just being crazy. I always want to run around shirtless with my bows and arrows and just paint my face and just fucking pretend to. I want to hunt people. I won't kill them, but I'll be like, I could if I wanted, and then I'll slink back into the forest. I used to do that, bro. When I was a kid, I used to do that. Not good.
What?
I would be out in Devil's Kitchen in the desert, and Jared. I think Jared's come with me before when we were young.
What were you guys
and then
doing?
you would just line the scope up on a guy who doesn't know you're there, and you go, I could kill him. And then you just point a loaded gun at a guy with the scope and be like, I could do it. And then we just sneak away. It's so fucked up. Just imagining 13-year-old me pretending to snipe
I was never
people.
there, man.
Yeah, I know it's really bad. I know it's really bad. No, listen, I was a child and I didn't have any gun safety teaching that I heeded.
They really did just hand us guns when we were young and just be
We
like,
used to
"Have
shoot
fun."
at each other.
Yeah.
Like just over each other's heads and shit to see what it would sound like.
It's crazy.
I know. We were fucking
Kill
insane.
people
Dude,
shit.
if you just give a bunch of kids guns, this is your libertarian paradise.
Yeah.
This is just you give a bunch of kids guns and they just stop respecting them. And it's not that anything bad didn't happen. Multiple people got shot. My friend shot through his own calf with a .22 Magnum on accident once. And we hid it from his parents so he wouldn't get in trouble. We were like, well, it's an exit wound. You're fine.
He's fine though, right?
He was fine. Yeah. He has a crazy scar now. But like the chances that he shouldn't have been fine. We were just lucky he was fine because there are tendons and shit but it just went through the meat.
Yeah.
Still though, it's fucking crazy.
You learn.
He shot himself in a truck and it's a .22. So the guy driving the truck was like really loud driving and he was like, did I hear something? We're like, nah. And he's just like, fuck, dude, I shot myself in the leg.
I remember one time we were at a house with one of the kids and he had a shotgun and we were in the basement and he was like holding the shotgun, didn't realize it was loaded and cocked and the safety was off and blew a hole through the basement. And his mom was upstairs literally like 2 feet away from the hole. Shit's wild.
Yeah, dude. Not a lot of safety going on. It is fun to pretend hunt people, though. We used to stalk people all the time. That was like one of the main things we did.
We talked about the same idea behind playing the game where you're like walking home and you're trying to hide from every car.
Yeah, exactly. Idea. We would do that all the time. Like we would go out into the wilderness and just like see the tourists camping or whatever, or people hunting, and you just like silently stalk them. I don't know why it was fun at the time, but looking back, I'm like, no, it still sound fun.
It does sound fun. I would do it now.
And then at night,
not with a gun,
that's when you at night then you scare people.
To preface that,
that's when you go out like and scare the tourists who are like going to the hot pots and shit.
Yeah.
Put a deer skin over you and like fucking crawl around. People are like, "What is that?"
Skinwalker.
Yeah, dude. We are the skinwalkers. Very fun.
That does sound fun.
I wanted to scare people at camp, kind of, but
yeah, that would have been fun. Next year we'll bring like a spooky thing, and Jared will pretend to be a giant monster. We'll put Mac on my shoulders.
Whoa!
Or Shayne on my shoulders
with
and
antlers.
Yeah,
and then just walk around so it looks like a giant figure with huge antlers.
A Joe pin or something like that.
Oh, that's good because because sometimes when you scare people in Utah, you're like, "Fuck, I hope they don't have a gun." But when you scare people in not Philadelphia, but in Pennsylvania, it's like, yeah, they're just fucking out there, dude. They have no way to defend themselves. They're not going to just have a gun on them in their sleeping area. So if you're just like on the road scaring people pretending to be a giant monster, they're going to be like, "Oh, monster." They're not going to have a gun to just start shooting at you.
Also, they love that shit. They were like all about us. They were so hyped that I ate 9 hot dogs. I've never seen someone more excited that I ate my normal meal.
Yeah, Jared won a hot dog eating contest by literally doing nothing weird. You literally stopped when you were like, "Oh, it's too many hot dogs."
Yeah, I was like, I'm full now. I
Zero effort made. You just beat, and that one guy talked all that shit, and he only ate like 4.
Yeah. He got full after 4. I was like, how?
Yeah. And you did. He literally. So Jared, there was like a hot dog eating contest. Jared gets 2 hot dogs on us. By the way, you didn't even just eat dogs. You were fully making hot dogs with the bun and the condiments and stuff. And he's like, "How's that? How many is that?" You're like, "It's my first 2." And he goes, "Sorry, man, you're gonna lose. Just straight up, you're gonna lose." So confident, like huge balls on this guy to just go up to you and be like, "You shouldn't even try."
What did he look like? I didn't see him.
He was the hatchet guy.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
This guy who had
the Renaissance Fair guy.
Yeah. He was wearing like a fucking open bowling shirt and listening to exclusively pop punk and 90s, like early 2000s ballads, Third Eye Blind and shit. He ruled. So anyway,
I thought he was a dork.
Dorks rule.
Dorks do rule.
Yeah, so he's telling Jared, just walks up to him and then gave up after 4. "How many are you on?" And you're like, 9.
And then I got done, and then I just ate like a box of Samoas afterwards.
Yeah.
I actually ate 12, but I'm so humble, and I it's not even a competition.
By the way,
to me.
Mac, not only was I the best archer, and then I think Jared's probably the best axe thrower.
Yeah,
he was the best eater. You let Jared out eat you.
I think overall calories this weekend we matched each other pretty well.
I think Jared got overall calories. I watched him sleeve out those Samoas.
You don't know. You weren't hanging out with me and Jared. Me and Jared were palling around the whole time.
We were smacking the whole time.
But he ate with you, I saw him eat more than you normally.
You were off to your own little plans.
I did go get seconds every time.
Yeah,
exactly. I only had seconds when we ate the meal that Heaven's Gate had for their last meal.
The only good meal of the whole
decent
camping
meal.
trip.
Yeah, Heaven's Gate was they
knew what they were doing.
Yeah, they had, what did they have? Ribs, macaroni and cheese,
vegetables,
but they were like seasoned pretty good. They were like boiled vegetables, like seasoned in a medley. Yeah, and they had cheesecake with cherries and strawberry,
and then chocolate. And then they did have the Kool-Aid
and cookies.
Yeah, that's right.
Dude, if I was gonna, that's pretty.
If you had a Colt, what would be your last meal for everyone?
We've already talked about this a bunch. I said I would eat the Bible as a joke. If I was gonna eat something for real, though, I don't know what it would be. I might just have like a bowl of cereal and say fuck it.
Like the last meal before you kill everyone?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
before
everyone's meal.
Before I kill, like meal. A group meal.
Yeah, like what would you choose as the group meal before you make everyone kill?
Here's what I would do.
Jambalaya. We'd eat a big thing of jambalaya.
That's a good one.
Here's what I would do. I would have a lady meal and a guy meal. It doesn't matter what it is, but
The ladies only get salads.
I poison the guy meals.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they all went to heaven or they all went to hell because they weren't strong enough. But you ladies are in heaven with me now.
Oh, true. That's because you're the cult leader. You go, hey, just so everyone knows, I poisoned all the food.
Yeah.
And they're the only ones who died, which means God is like, hey, you guys got to stay with me, and I'm gonna take care of you.
We're strong enough to resist the poison.
And then you go, you, and you. I want to smoke weed with me.
but I will have a little bit of weed.
Yeah.
That is the one caveat.
You smoke, and then you're done, and you go, did you guys not bring weed?
Yeah.
I was hoping you would have some. Damn, dude. Mike, what would your cult be about, bro?
Mine?
Yeah, I guess you're already in a cult. Strongman is like such a huge lifestyle.
It's a niche
It
lifestyle.
absorbs everything. It's the way you eat. It's the way you sleep. It's the way you spend your time. To be as strong as you want to be, it's like, it is a cult almost.
Yeah, it's a lot of effort. It's a lot of work.
Are you what do you think about dating someone who also does strongman shit?
I don't think
Or
I
goes
could.
to the gym all the time?
I don't think I mean, I think that it would be cool, but I'm also a weirdo. When I go to the gym, like, I just don't talk to anyone.
Well, what if they didn't talk? What if like they were like, yeah, let's do our work and then meet back up after?
That's pretty cool.
Are there what is the ratio of like just solo strong people versus like a strong couple? So like a strong man and a strong lady or whatever, and then a strong person and their familiar. Like how often do you get just a solo guy who's like, I do this, I support myself?
So many more.
Jared has familiars.
No, but that's what I'm wondering. What's the normal strong dynamic?
The normal strong dynamic is that one person in the relationship does the gym stuff, and then legitimately,
and
they have the familiar.
Yeah,
because it's like so hard to do just by yourself.
It is. You do need someone supporting you.
You need
like
someone
legitimately
buying your stuff, making you meals.
It's hard. I do it by myself, and it's a struggle.
I can't remember what it was like. Some workout muscle documentary where there's like a guy, and he was in love with his like, this lady was like juice to the gills.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The bodybuilder lady that's like,
she was
Miss Olympia.
She was fucking ripped, and this like little dork in glasses like, I love muscles. And he was like,
He was at every beck and call for her. He had all of her fucking Tupperwares. He was just like behind her. You know, he was pinning her with the steroids every night.
Oh, that's sweet.
And that's what you need to succeed.
Dude, steroids are so crazy to take. You need someone to do it for you.
Unless you're dedicated. I don't know. Injecting 8 times a day is just not something I would ever do.
Yeah, that's how much they got to inject?
Yeah, it's crazy.
8 times.
So a normal stack would be like...
I would just get the diabetic thing that you put in your arm and it injects you slowly. I'd get the pill under the arm like ladies' birth control.
Oh, yeah.
Just a bunch of solid TR testosterone. Just put it...
Well, the idea is that you have so many different things you take every single day. So
many things.
Yeah, you got to take like growth and testosterone and an estrogen blocker, and then you usually, if you're doing a stack, you do 3 separate types of steroids usually. So
what if I just started taking estrogen blockers and nothing else? What would happen?
Yeah, would your testosterone just go up?
No, your testosterone would stay the same.
Does a normal guy get, how much estrogen am I making right now?
I'm not sure the
3?
average, but it'd be
3 estrogens.
Because like a man our age should be producing 450, I think.
Estrogen?
No, of testosterone. So I think estrogen would be a lot lower. A woman on average produces like 70 testosterone.
What are these units?
They're nanoliters per deciliter.
All right. And so...
I love that you said it, and he just, Mac is such a professional. He was just like,
"Yep,
yeah, I know what that is." Just kept it going. You could have said anything. You could have been like, the quantum flibberflarb.
No,
it affects the flibberfloob, and that is what creates the testosterone. And I'd be like, Excellent.
No,
yes.
I know the metric system.
Oh, okay.
One, I know grams and liters.
Yeah,
and
you know those things.
Other various small measurements from all my baking history.
Yeah, you know those from being a guy who wears red sunglasses.
Yeah. From going out into the woods with ladies and actually having the thing.
Yeah. Going monkey mode.
How long have you been strongmanning?
A year and like 4 months of actually training to do strongman.
And what started it?
So,
and you took a break in there. Like you there was like a 5
yeah.
months where you were just kind of like maintaining.
Yeah, like a couple of years. Well,
Were you just
so
body-
I was overweight and like unhappy, and I broke up with my girlfriend, as everyone does. Like that's the story of like I started just normal guy training, and I was skinny fat, so I was still like super chubby, even though I was skinny.
Not like me, strong fat.
Yeah, exactly. And then one day, it was like 3 or 4 years of just training like a normal person, and then COVID happened, and it ended, quote unquote, and I was like super overweight again because I just did nothing during COVID, and I was like, fuck it, like I actually like really like the gym. I'm just gonna try to get strong. And so for the last 2 years now, so for 5 months I did what Shayne said, where I like maintained. I kind of got stronger. I just did full body every day. I was just trying to lose weight. I did my first strongman with 0 training, just doing it. I just
see
went
where
and
your
did it.
limit was.
Yeah, just to see where I
your
was.
baseline.
Yeah, and I placed middle of the pack without training for it,
Wow.
which was pretty crazy, and it made me feel pretty good. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to actually train. So I hired a coach, and for the last year and a half, I've been just going.
Damn.
So my next strongman's in October, and I plan on winning it.
You got to go to like special strongman gyms now.
Yep, I
Where
go to a strongman
Instead
gym.
of dumbbells, you're like, here's a rock.
It's literally like my gym's joke is that it's just trash, because it really is. We have like a legitimate just engine block in there that
Just
you carry.
Here's the engine block carry.
Yeah, and the engine block's 400 pounds, and it's just like, hey, you just put that on your arms and carry it.
Just awkward sizes.
We have a fire hydrant in there, just an empty fire hydrant.
Just to like pick up.
Yep.
That's so funny because there's an empty fire hydrant at the skate park I go to, and me and like 3 guys drag it around to like jump over it, and
Strongman just lift it up.
yeah, and you guys are like, it's just me and 2 other dumbass
Dude, fire hydrants are
burnout
so
idiots.
small, but they weigh so much.
Dude, they're crazy heavy.
What's the heaviest thing you have at your gym?
The heaviest thing we have at the gym, technically,
Don't say your feelings.
is the yoke carry. Can be the heaviest thing there. I watched a person do 1,050-pound yoke walk.
That's fucking crazy.
Wow.
Do you think strongman's your favorite shit ever, bro?
Yeah. Besides
If you
like
would-
video games and
If
shit.
you had found it like early, do you think it would be like your main thing?
Yeah. It's just cool. The idea of like strongman is cool just because, I mean, I can lift a human being above my head. I'm
Yeah,
also
yeah.
like super athletic and feel good. It's just one of those things that builds a lot of confidence, makes you feel great, and it's also just fun. And also, the people always say like the nerdiest, most fucking dorky thing is people say training, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I trained for what's the life," or like I'm like doing like training that applies. What's the fucking word? Why can't
Functional?
I think of it? Functional. God, yeah. Functional training makes me want to kill myself. When people say I do functional
Everything's
training,
functional.
exactly. And if
Yeah.
we're going off of functional training, the most functional training in existence, in my personal opinion, is strongman or CrossFit. Because CrossFit does train you to do lifts while compromising position, and when you are in real life and you're lifting things, you're compromised all the time. Like your back isn't going to be straight. It's not like lifting a fucking barbell. So strongman is like the most functional technical training. If you go off of like Shayne's trying to pick up a fire hydrant at a skate park, well, I can, and I know how, and I know how to do it safely.
I have the most functional training. My mind.
Mac, is there?
Your brain is your strongest muscle.
I tried to get
in your
Mac into
body.
strongman. I told him he should. The gym's only 10 blocks away.
I don't want to do strongman. I want to do bodybuilding.
So Jared-
I want to be very weak and very tired and very like just shredded. Just 3% body weight, and all my muscles look gross and just that's what I don't want to. Because strongman dudes, they get like it's funny. You get to a point where you're just like, I'm gonna fucking be so muscly. I'm just gonna be fat and muscly.
Pretty much,
too.
yeah. It depends on your weight class, but yeah.
Unless you're a Chinese Olympic lifter, they keep it tight.
230-pound strongmen usually are pretty fucking ripped.
Yeah. No, I want to be weak and look strong to 8-year-olds.
Yeah, that's bodybuilders for sure. Not all. Some bodybuilders are strong, but so many are like, even when I was just lifting a lot and doing CrossFit, and like the most I've ever squatted was 300. That was like basically the pinnacle of my, like the craziest
Which is a lot of weight
day
for
of my
a normal
life.
person.
Yeah. I was like, blew my fucking mind I could do it. I wanted to do double my body weight. That wasn't even close to double because I was like 210 at the time. But still, I would do like heavy squats and I would see the giganticest guys. They would not even be fucking close.
Yeah, they train for
That's how-
hypertrophy. You gotta curl.
What's your squat max?
Like 535.
Yeah.
That's
it's
it?
When I
fucking
went to
crazy.
I went to a Globo gym the other day, like an EOS or like a Gold or something, and there are guys there that are squatting and like struggling with 225, and then I go in, and it wasn't even me trying to like be a dick, but it was on my program, and I was just overhead pressing 225 for reps, and everyone's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
My favorite shit when I was doing CrossFit and I was strong was going to the Globo gym and there'd be a dude with a belt on that's pretty big, just struggle with 225, and I'd be like, "Can I work in with you?" And I'd front squat it without a belt, and he'd be so bummed out. It's so funny. Yeah, I've gone to the Globo gym with Jared. Watching people watch Jared lift is pretty fucking sick.
I like
it. You know what it reminds me of? Those videos where they're like, white guy orders Chinese food in perfect Mandarin because they're like, whoa! Like just to watch some like huge bodybuilder guy watching Jared put in like 4 plates to squat, and the guy's like, and then he does it, and the guy like is hitting his friend to look, and I'm like, yeah, that's what's up.
I also like to watch at the gym. I like to I like to sit on the treadmill and use you got to use at least 3 different mirror reflections to see to creep on some hot lady.
So
You can't do 2. You'll get caught.
Yeah.
You
You
gotta use
gotta
at
do
least 3 angles.
here's what I do. I open my phone selfie mode. I look into the selfie through the mirror,
No,
bounce it
that's-
off the next mirror, and then I
Nope.
zoom.
They'll catch you every time.
That's 3 though.
Nope. The phone gives you away.
Well, it looks like I'm looking at myself, and I have sunglasses on.
Sunglasses at the gym.
So
People don't expect it, but it works.
They don't expect it. So Jared found Strongman late in life. I found surfing, and both of us are like, "Oh fuck, I wish I'd found that earlier." That's my thing. Like definitively, I know if I had surfed when I was young, I would never have done anything else.
Yeah.
Ever. I would just have
Be a
surfed and
surf
played
bum.
video games. That would be all I would do. It's my favorite shit in the world. Like,
Man, I hope to find my thing someday.
yeah. Because I love comedy.
bodybuilding. Let's
I'm
get you in
passionate
Not
about it.
bodybuilding.
But I'm just talented at it. Not to be a dick, but it
It's
was
when-
something that came naturally to me. Surfing doesn't come naturally to me, and I still want to do it. That's how I know it's like my thing.
Yeah.
Everything about it makes me like in love with it. It's like it's like comedy plus a little extra for me. I'm like, oh, okay. This is like
Yeah, the euphoria you feel when you like do something. I think that's how you know you found your thing, is when you have euphoria, when you even make a small increment change
Yeah.
to it. When you like, just like with surfing, you stand up for the first time and it's like the happiest you've ever been. And then you actually ride a wave for 3 seconds and you're like, oh fuck, I'm getting better and better. That's how I am with Strongman. I literally put 5 pounds on my lift and I'm like, holy shit, that's so
it's
cool.
it's like a high for a year.
Yep.
I'm literally still thinking about starting surfing and how stoked I am and how proud I am of like just doing that. It's fucking everything about it makes me happy. And I know other people who are like that passionate. That's the thing, is where I know that surfing is my thing, because if I wasn't making money doing comedy, I'd probably do this podcast and I might do like some shows for fun. But like, whatever. If I had found surfing young, I would have just been a poor piece of shit and would have enjoyed surfing no matter what. I would have literally, my job would have just been to support surfing.
And those guys are out there.
You 100% surf bums.
The-
I would
the-
not be a comedy bum
You'd be
at
a Chris Pratt.
35. Yeah.
Chris Pratt did that when he was younger. He lived in Hawaii and just lived in a van and surfed. And
Yeah,
then
he was ripped before. You know, he got fat for show business.
yeah.
That's crazy.
He got fat
He
for
was
Parks and
ripped
Rec.
in like a buff like surfer guy, and then he was like, no one thinks it's funny when a buff guy is funny.
Isn't it crazy to be ripped surfer dude that definitely did a lot of drugs, had sex with just anyone, and now he just hates gay people and is the most Christian dude ever?
Is he super?
Yeah, he's super.
Yeah, he's in a
Christian.
church that's like pretty adamantly anti-gay.
No, that makes sense because it's the thing of whatever you do as a kid, you don't like doing
Well, he did
as an
it as
adult.
an adult, though.
No,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
'cause Chris
saying.
Pratt was older.
When you're a teenager, if you're like
He was in his 20s.
Yeah, he was late 20s when he was
Yeah,
still
yeah.
surfing.
This is you can't
nope.
logic your way out of
You're
Chris
not an
Pratt.
adult until you're 35.
Okay, there it is. There it is. Yeah, he's in that weird church that Justin Bieber's in, and then the main priest guy's like keeps getting caught being like, gay people aren't real, and we should in there for like conversion camps, all this crazy shit. And then Chris Pratt is like, I don't know what he says, but I believe it's something else. And it's like, you donate millions of dollars to this church. What do you mean you don't know what he says?
That's every religion, though.
I know, but they
Every
get
religion
plausible deniability.
Everyone's just like, hey, I gotta eat shrimp.
At least
Yeah.
that's what. At least Tom Cruise owns up to it. He's like, yeah, I like Scientology.
Huge
They do crazy
mad
shit.
You know what?
respect to the crazy guy, dude.
Tom,
For real.
I don't even think he's crazy. I think he's the most normal because he does exactly what he wants to do. He puts his money where his mouth is.
I think
he's wildly successful.
there's a speech where Tom Cruise is like, listen, Scientology has done bad things, but I think it puts more good out into the world than it does bad, no matter how vile those things were. And it's like, well,
At least you're
he's
standing by it.
logicked his way through
Yeah.
it in his own mind.
Look,
I'm not down.
If I gotta kill the wife of the church, the wife
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the leader
yeah,
of the
yeah.
church, because she's gonna bring this whole thing down, but it helps 100 other people. That's every religion, though.
Yeah, no, that is. That's what they all say. I'm like, I get it. I guess you're logicking your way into it. I don't know. Does Scientology hate gay people?
I think they probably think if you have too many thetans, too many alien souls,
is that
it
what
turns
makes
you
you
gay.
gay?
I think that's their answer for everything.
Googling it. Scientology and
Dude, we have a few Scientologists who listen to this and they get mad when we talk about it.
But we're talking about it in a positive light
Yeah,
right
we're
now.
saying like, hey, you got Tom and he seems to enjoy it.
Dude, I got so many thetans in me right now. I gotta clear some of them. Yeah, abs. Where can the people find you, Jared?
Oh yeah, all of my social medias are Jardozer, and I also have an OnlyFans.
Oh my God! Do you
post hog.
you post hog? You hang
do.
brain?
I do.
Do you lift in the buff?
I want to. I just haven't yet.
Wait, how much is it gonna take for all the people to pay you?
It's $10.
Wait, do you do that bullshit on OnlyFans where you're like, here's my nudes, and then you gotta pay extra to see me fuck?
If it's fucking, yeah, but like I'll just post dong
You know
for
what?
free. It's $10 a month.
I'm out. I'm out.
Too many
Dude, okay, I actually got burned. There is this girl I've been following. She's so hot. It's like $20 a month for her. And I was like,
And then
cool, $20 a month is fine. But she never posts nipple. That's all right. You know, it's her
Yeah, yeah,
page. She can
that's-
do what she wants.
It is your page.
But then she posted a $45 set. And it was like, yeah, my tits are out in this, all this stuff. And I was like, I gotta do it. $45. I gotta do it. I gotta see these
You're
titties.
too far in. You
I'm
can't
too
go
far
back.
in. I paid the $45. No nipple.
Damn.
Can you get a refund?
Dude, I want a refund. So I've never like
That's
flipped
false.
my desk. I was like,
But you'll
what the fuck?
on your OnlyFans, you never do that. You
No.
say exactly what.
I'm like, and my videos are cheap. I sell a blowjob video for $5. That's cheap.
Have you
as
blown a
hell.
guy, or-
Yeah, who are
Me
you
getting-
blowing?
Me getting blown, but yeah,
Damn.
you know, it's cheap.
I
By
gotta-
which guy?
Ah.
You'd make so much money if you let a guy blow you.
I get asked almost every day if I let dudes blow me.
Just let someone who's incredibly. I know that you're like obviously you're not gay, but let someone who's like wildly androgynous.
Yeah.
No, that's not so bad to me.
paint a
I'm
fake
pretty. I would
mustache
say
on
I'm
him.
pretty pansexual. I'm attracted to people that do pass masculine or people that are trans, but like,
Is that pan? I thought that was intelligent.
No,
people.
that's just pan. I mean, pansexual is just like attracted to whatever you know.
whatever somebody you're not attracted to physically. It's more so.
It's not.
how
It's
they
not
look.
that it's based on gender. It's just like, oh,
Yeah,
my
it's not based
eyes
on
like
gender.
this. I'm into it.
I'm
like. We'll name drop him, but Cam Damage.
Yeah, yeah,
Super
for
hot.
sure. Absolutely
hot as
would
hell.
fuck
I don't know
that
who that
guy silly.
Yeah,
no idea.
He's hot.
he's hot. Yeah,
You'd
fuck him.
probably be
How-
into him.
How big are his tits?
Zero. He had a mastectomy.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
he's hot. as hell.
But he's got that little tiny ballerina body you love and a juicy pussy.
well, I'm gonna go check him out. Him, her. Anyways, check out Jardozer on everything. You got anything?
North Carolina.
Oh.
Wilmington, North Carolina. Dead Crow Comedy Club, I'm pretty sure. Springfield, Missouri, the weekend after. Springfield, Missouri, come to that. And then San Diego in October, and then Tampa and Orlando in October. Also, if you surf in San Diego, hit me up. I might want a board from you, and I'll rent it, and I'll love you forever, and I'll do you a favor if you let me surf your board.
Yeah, if you wanna...
I'm probably looking for mid sizes, but if you have a fish that's like 6 feet or under, I'll also surf that. I just want to hang out and have a good time.
Yeah, and if you want to see a video from our camp trip, our getaway, our retreat, what do we call it? Our vacation thing?
Our work vacation.
Yeah, subscribe to patreon.com/cowboyboys, and we'll have a little video there and an extra podcast every week. It comes out Thursdays.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, check out that. Rate and review our podcast. Do whatever you want to do. Hit us up. And thank you very much.
We love you. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.